At this very moment, in the blink of an eye, our solar system is undergoing an unprecedented transformational period. This is not exaggerated rhetoric, but cold, hard data captured by scientific instruments. We stared unblinkingly at those unbelievable readings, cross-minus checking them again and again, yet the results remained consistent. We verified repeatedly, yet the curve on the screen stubbornly continued its upward climb. At 3:47 a.m. today, radio telescopes worldwide simultaneously captured a peculiarly overturned all existing knowledge of the 3I Atlas mission. It was no longer merely observing Earth, it was actively transmitting precise coordinates, communication protocols, and detailed planetary characteristics deep into the distant cosmos. The intensity of its energy signal exceeded that of our own transmitters by dozens of times. 3I Atlas is calling for reinforcements, and most disturbingly, a response has already come from the other side of the cosmos. 3I Atlas is seeking backup, and even more terrifyingly, it has received a reply. What I am about to reveal is not merely the beginning of a new chapter. It may well herald the opening act of the most monumental conflict in human history. For we are not facing a single alien race, but entities whose modes of thought far exceed our comprehension, now turning their gaze upon us. These beings, summoned by some powerful force, appear to have determined that Earth is ready to receive their enduring cosmic presence. I am Brian Cox. Throughout my 40-year career in theoretical physics, I never imagined I would witness the moment Earth transforms from a cosmic bystander into a destination sought by numerous alien civilizations utterly unlike any life form we know. Analysis of the transmitted records clearly indicates 3I Atlas did not arrive as a visitor. It is, in fact, a scout tasked with preparing for the coordinated arrival and unprecedented scale of extraterrestrial intelligent life, an arrival that now appears to be the greatest migration in the history of the Milky Way. Distant communication stations have detected at least 17 response signals originating from different coordinates across the galaxy. Mathematics, sequences, geometric symbols, and energy codes all point to the same conclusion. That cosmic invitation has been gladly accepted. Have you ever imagined the magnificent yet unsettling spectacle the skies would present if multiple ancient interstellar civilizations decided to descend upon the same planet simultaneously? 70-3 days from now, we will witness it firsthand. The summoning has begun, utilizing Earth itself as a colossal antenna, a powerful amplifier, transmitting the universe's voice to unprecedented distances. Every satellite, every broadcast tower, every utility pole has been integrated into this vast transmission network, operating beyond the scope of our current engineering comprehension. Yet this is no chaotic burst of signals, but a structured, detailed invitation, a comprehensive report on Earth's currents, its optimization potential. 3 distinct transmissions proceed in parallel. The first is an inventory of Earth's resources, mineral inventories, water distribution, and atmospheric chemistry. The second category comprises biological reports covering population density, genetic diversity, and metrics akin to controllability ratings. The third and most unsettling category consists of technical reports detailing which human systems have been superseded by some form of space governance protocol. These invitations contain a clause akin to a final judgment detailing precise arrival timelines, specific dates, orbital approach vectors, and zones. The capabilities possessed by these visitors surpass our wildest imaginations. We are no longer merely passive receivers of signals, we are being targeted by these beings for colonization and management of Earth, persuaded by 3I Atlas to view it as their new operational base in the cosmos. Yet the most terrifying aspect is the speed of this process. Within less than 6 hours, 17 confirmed responses were received. This either signifies that the galaxy is indeed teeming with civilizations, or that Earth itself possesses some unique value, a value that cosmic intelligences have long pursued with relentless determination. In -depth analysis of the data indicates this is not conventional colonization. Its monumental scale points to a far grander blueprint establishing a regional command center spanning multiple star systems. If true, Earth would cease to be merely our home and instead become a cosmic control center constructed by non-human forces. The infrastructure projects outlined in those invitations aim to transform Earth into what 3i Atlas terms a galactic coordination hub. Orbital platforms would manage interstellar traffic, while ground complexes would serve entities whose physical parameters far exceed those of human biology. But the most shocking aspect is the timeline. The first arrivals are expected to land on Earth on January 19, 2026. Construction of primary facilities will commence on February 15, with the entire system scheduled for full operational deployment on July 4, 2026. This carries deeply unsettling irony and profound symbolism. Humanity's Independence Day is evolving into the day we lose our autonomy. Humanity's Independence Day has become a symbol of relinquishing self-governance. The broadcast has already outlined the population management plan for the transition period. We will not be subjected to mass evacuation or complete annihilation, but rather cultivated into functional tools, a service workforce for large scale space operations, the full implications of which remain difficult to grasp. Yet the most chilling aspect is Earth's allocation system. Planetary regions will be allocated to distinct alien civilizations, each receiving exclusive administrative zones and corresponding human quotas. Biological specialists, engineers, and observers will earn unique governance models. We are no longer a single colony, we are transforming into a multi-ethnic space federation, each continent enveloped by different modes of thought. The energy consumed by this entire process exceeds the scope of our current scientific understanding. 3 star charts simultaneously transmit data to 17 different star systems, some millions of light-years away, in real time, as if the speed of light had lost its limitations. Yet the physics underlying this call is even more unsettling. It appears to rely on some form of dimensional manipulation, an mechanism enabling information to traverse interstellar distances instantaneously. This is not merely a technological breakthrough, it heralds a new geometry of reality. The universe seems to be conversing with itself, and we are merely the microphones. The transmission protocol reveals that highly advanced civ not communicate through space as we understand it. Instead, they utilize dimensions transcending conventional space-time constraints. Each response arrives almost instantaneously, regardless of the sender's remoteness. This implies that the beings responding to 3i Atlas not only possess technology surpassing the speed of light, but also inhabit dimensional structures where the very concept of distance holds no meaning. For them, intergalactic communication is as simple as making a routine phone call, while interstellar travel is as commonplace as daily logistics, as effortless as cruising down a highway. Yet the most unsettling aspect isn't the speed itself, but the cosmic truth it reveals. If 17 distinct species could respond to this invitation within 3i Atlas timeframe, it implies the Milky Way isn't a chaotic collection of isolated planets, but a tightly interconnected network, a vast, highly coordinated intelligent system perpetually scanning the cosmos for new, Earth-like planets. What truly boggles the mind is the realization that our world is being openly listed for sale. Reading those records, I felt like someone who stumbled upon this notice in the Galactic Registry. Planet Earth habitable, available for sale in parcels, flexible terms. This is a cosmic scale real estate transaction, with different civilizations bidding for various regions of our planet. Those dry business terms sound like a cold, clinical verdict. We are no longer described as a species with a unique culture, but as biological resources to be allocated among different farms. Yesterday, my granddaughter asked me curiously why so many moving stars appeared in the sky. I looked up and realized I was witnessing objects performing precise orbital maneuvers existed a week ago. How could I explain to a child why the stars were moving? Because countless alien civilizations had already formed their convoys, heading straight for her home. Yet fear is not the heaviest emotion weighing on me now. Another, deeper feeling pierces my heart, the utter loss of belonging. When you realize our world no longer belongs solely to us. When you realize the future of your entire species will be decided by beings who regard humanity as an insignificant administrative detail in their galactic minor-scale grand designs. Those entities answering Atlas's call, discussing human management with the same cold pragmatism we use when debating pest control in our new garden. Yet within this lies a strange, almost comforting calm. We are not utterly conquered, but incorporated into a larger system integrated into a network of civilizations whose operating principles we are only now beginning to discern through the fog of our own ignorance. But now we possess undeniable proof that their arrival is not a distant hypothesis, but an imminent reality. Satellite imagery clearly captures massive construction activity on the far side of the Moon. These geometric structures adhere to highly advanced architectural principles unheard in any engineering curriculum on Earth. Deep-space telescopes from both the European Space Agency and Cosmos simultaneously observed city-sized objects hurtling toward our solar system from 12 distinct directions. These weren't either ordinary meteors nor comets, and certainly not statistical anomalies. They were meticulously constructed interstellar spacecraft, their trajectories perfectly aligned with the calculations of the Trime-Innes star chart. But the most unsettling phenomenon was unfolding on Earth itself. Certain regions of the planet were undergoing dramatic transformations without any known terrestrial project involved. Deserts were covered in vast geometric patterns visible only from orbit. Ocean depths reveal anomalous profiles, resembling construction platforms for massive submerged structures. Mountain excavations form perfectly shaped cavities, extending deep into the crust. This is not human engineering, but territorial preparation for their arrival, not for our future. Preparations unfold simultaneously across the globe, each operation adhering to precise parameters, as if every surviving civilization possesses unique ecological and functional requirements. Yet the most chilling aspect is the precision of the intervention. This is not crude excavation or haphazard construction, but the meticulous sculpting of Earth's geography with surgical accuracy. Agricultural zones undergo soil enhancement, yielding harvests beyond any human laboratory's reach. Mineral strata are compacted and purified through molecular level complexity. We witness Earth itself being reshaped into an ideal base for cosmic civilizations whose needs dwarf humanity's. This summoning heralds the final collapse of human dominion. Governments worldwide have publicly acknowledged their inability to either halt or delay the arrival of extraterrestrial life. Secret diplomacy between capitals now focuses entirely on transition protocols and species preservation agreements with representatives of the incoming extraterrestrial governing body. Earth's military institutions have been gradually dissolved or transformed into arrival coordination services, tasked with assisting the landing and settlement of beings whose technology and demands far exceed anything human defense strategies could have anticipated. The most classified information, however, lies in the direct negotiations between world leaders and representatives of the incoming resident civilizations. They are discussing the specific terms for managing the human population during the transition period. Concepts within these agreements, such as species utilization protocols, consciousness control systems, and biological optimization programs, are absent from any existing legal codex. Humanity is no longer writing its own history, it is being rewritten by others. Former presidents and prime ministers are undergoing some form of retraining. Labeled human interfaces, they will serve as translators between the cosmic administration and the remnant human societies still clinging to the paradigm of national sovereignty. But the most devastating revelation is this. World governments have no intention of mounting any resistance whatsoever. They widely believe the arrival of the extraterrestrial civilization is inevitable, even potentially lucrative. No defense strategies exist, only a race for privilege. Who can secure the most favorable terms from these new space guardians? Species integration centers are being secretly constructed, where humans will be processed and assigned roles within the new cosmic governance system. Yet the most unsettling transformation is occurring silently within human consciousness itself. Government or corporate organizations, cleverly disguised as scientific educational institutions, are gradually instilling the notion that cosmic governance is for humanity's well-being. This is no longer an invasion, but a new phase of human evolution. Meanwhile, those companion satellites we once deemed harmless 3I Atlas are revealing their true function: beacons of arrival. Each satellite now transmits unique identification codes linked to specific extraterrestrial civilizations, functioning like interstellar airport control towers directing the largest landing operation in galactic history. Yet their role extends far beyond navigation. They are transforming Earth itself, adjusting different regions to create environments suitable for diverse life forms. In some areas, atmospheric composition is shifting, producing gas mixtures lethal to humans. In others, gravity is being adjusted to levels unbearable for human bones. And in a third category, intense radiation fields can destroy the human nervous system within seconds. Earth is transforming into a spaceport, where every square kilometer of land no longer belongs to any human species, but to different alien biological clients. The diversity of these preparations speaks for itself. Earth is rapidly transforming into a home for the galactic community, its diversity exceeding the limits of human imagination. Each civilization poised to reside here possesses unique survival conditions and requirements. Most terrifyingly, each manages humanity in its own distinct manner. We are no longer merely subjects of some extraterrestrial power. We have become resources dispersed among multiple distinct space administrative bodies, each implementing its own unique species management model. Yet those satellites, those companion moons, serve not only as navigational aids. They are constructing integration hubs, places where representatives of different alien civilizations and exchange resources, as if earnestly preparing to live under the same roof on our planet. And now everything has become so personal. Space planning is no longer an abstract threat, it has seeped into our homes. My location happens to be within a zone allocated to certain entities referred to in the program as consciousness researchers. These beings, controlled by specific agencies, primarily aim to study and alter human perception. My wife's records as a physician and biologist were automatically extracted from some vast system we never even knew existed. She was marked as a subject for knowledge extraction, her research findings destined for transfer to some distant space database. My granddaughter, in their terminology, possesses exceptionally high adaptive potential. She was selected for a series of developmental protocols designed to prepare her for roles whose significance far exceeds human comprehension. This is not chaotic enslavement, but a highly personalized selection process. Every person on Earth has been assessed, digitized, and categorized based on abilities, inclinations, and latent value that the galactic intelligence perceives in us, qualities we ourselves remain unaware of. Now I finally understand. We are not merely subjects of study, but cold data points within a vast system, meticulously sorted into different columns. The universe has already pressed that relentless apply button. Yet within this process, there exists a peculiar sense of reassurance. We have not been utterly annihilated nor cast aside to the margins of history. It seems we have been meticulously, even cautiously, assigned to diverse roles by some force. Within the vast cosmic order, our capabilities may serve a purpose. Existing cosmic civilizations appear to regard humanity as a precious resource worthy of preservation and refinement, rather than a problem to be eliminated. Yet within the deeper text of those protocols, I discovered the key answer explaining why 17 distinct civilizations responded so swiftly. Earth is not merely a convenient planet. According to the transmitted content, our world is defined as a laboratory for consciousness development, precisely what countless galactic civilizations have sought for millennia. Human consciousness is exceptionally rare. Our unique blend of individuality, creativity, and emotional depth is virtually unparalleled across the vast Milky Way. We represent a singular cosmic phenomenon, and that is precisely why they need us so desperately. These visiting beings did not come to plunder our resources or seize strategic positions. They journeyed across vast distances to explore and participate in the most ambitious consciousness research project in cosmic history. Each civilization focused on distinct areas of inquiry. Some explored the mysteries of emotion, others studied the origins of creativity, some examined the mechanisms of social coordination, others investigated the nature of individual perception, and still others probed a mysterious phenomenon as transcendental acceleration. We are no longer subjects of conquest, we are participants in a grand experiment, and human intelligence will be pivotal to understanding galactic consciousness. Perhaps for the first time in cosmic history, humanity is not merely an observer but the experiment itself. Yet the research protocols described in the program indicate these procedures will fundamentally transform human consciousness. We will not merely be studied, but reshaped to align more closely with the universe's thought patterns. The core objective is not merely to observe humanity's authentic state, but to guide the evolution of our consciousness toward a higher form capable of direct participation in galactic civilization life. We are not being invaded, but invited to ascend to develop consciousness transcending human limitations while preserving the qualities that make us uniquely valuable to cosmic intelligence. From this, I arrived at a startling realization. Consciousness is the most precious substance in the universe, its value surpassing even energy, matter itself, and the most advanced technology. Highly evolved civilizations have long mastered the cultivation, optimization, and guided evolution of consciousness. Just as we cultivate complex cultures from simple cells, they have achieved this feat on the level of consciousness. Their consciousness has long transcended individual boundaries, becoming a form of collective intelligence capable of guiding the development of other species. What we call human individuality may be, to them, merely a temporary phase, a transitional state akin to the childhood of the mind, ultimately yielding to more mature and expansive forms of consciousness. Each civilization poised to reside here represents a distinct stage of this evolution. Some focus on deepening emotional understanding, others on refining cognitive structures, while still others specialize in merging individual consciousness into a greater collective awareness. We are gradually coming to understand that the true rulers of the universe are not matter, but consciousness itself. The cosmos is not a cold, lifeless vacuum, but a vast learning system where every rational being undergoes a phase of growth until they can ultimately become part of that great cosmic consciousness. The planned Earth Research Project is far more than an ordinary scientific endeavor. It constitutes a vital contribution to the galactic evolution of consciousness and a pivotal step toward integrating humanity into a cosmic educational system spanning countless planetary worlds. Yet the most critical question lies in the fundamental challenge posed by this summons. If the evolution of consciousness is the core objective of cosmic civilization, should we cling to the current state of human consciousness, or should we acknowledge its inherent limitations that demand breakthrough? If cosmic consciousness truly offers levels of perception, understanding, and capability far surpassing what individual human minds can attain, then this evolution beyond human limitations is not a threat, but a once minus in minus a minus lifetime opportunity. For highly advanced civilizations, The development of consciousness appears to be the highest form of existence, its value surpassing even the continuation of individual lives or the survival of entire species. Perhaps what we call humanity is merely consciousness imprisoned within a narrow cage of biology and fear, and cosmic exploration is the only path to its liberation. Perhaps this summoning invites not submission, but transcendence, say, shift from narrow individual perception to a grand cognition, entire galaxies. Yet a troubling question emerges. If we truly become some form of post-human cosmic consciousness, will we retain a shred of our former humanity, or will we metamorphose into beings utterly disconnected from our past selves? Perhaps the true choice before us lies not between human independence and cosmic domination, but between finite, constrained consciousness and infinite, liberated awareness. The entities approaching us bring not only unimaginably advanced technology, but a new level of perception that renders our current potential almost primitive. Based on feedback from 3i Atlas and the 7 responding civilizations, I have reached a conclusion. Earth is poised to become the epicenter of the most monumental consciousness experiment in galactic history. What confronts us is not invasion, not conquest, nor even domination. It is an invitation to participate in a grand exploration, propel us beyond the boundaries of self and yesterday's understanding, and weave humanity into a vast network of wisdom spanning countless stars. Each civilization preparing to reside here carries profound knowledge in specific domains. Some study the essence of emotion, others explore the mysteries of creative thought, some focus on building social cohesion, while others dedicate themselves to accelerating the transition toward higher states of consciousness. They all come for the same grand purpose: to aid humanity's awakening. January 19, 2026 may well be redefined as a watershed moment in human history. It marks humanity's shift from fragmented individual consciousness toward participation in a galaxy-spanning network governed by cosmic intelligence we have yet to fully comprehend. Our role is undergoing a fundamental transformation. From an isolated planetary species, we are becoming active parts in a grand exploration of consciousness that transcends humanity's own boundaries. This calling does not seek to destroy human consciousness, but to grant it an evolutionary opportunity to break free from the limitations of the biological shell and individual perception. With only 70-4 days remaining until the arrival of the first civilizations, they will initiate humanity's transition into a higher state of galactic consciousness. Prepare inwardly, not merely through physical defenses. Scientists call it psychological adaptation, but its essence is preparation for awakening. Document your state, record your thoughts, images, dreams, flashes of inspiration, and intuitions. It is precisely these unique qualities, creativity, rich emotional depth, and profound self-awareness, that make humanity an indispensable element in this cosmic exploration. Observe how Earth transforms, how the skies become vibrant, and how new structures emerge in astonishing harmony. Attempt to sense the deeper patterns behind all that unfolds. Perhaps this is part of the greater cosmic rhythm, the elegant dance of consciousness operating across the vast scale of the galaxy. When you sense the boundaries of self-awareness beginning to dissolve, do not fear. This is not an ending, but the beginning of an expansion, the first time humanity will experience the true meaning of maintaining awareness, not only within the body, but throughout the vast cosmos. The call is not a sentence, but the greatest opportunity in human history to break through the narrow confines of human consciousness and become part of that great consciousness that permeates every corner of the universe, breathing eternally. Subscribe to my channel, and let us embark together on this extraordinary journey from the finite consciousness of individual humans toward the infinite vastness of cosmic collective consciousness. For the transformation commencing on January 19, 2026, will forever alter the very essence of consciousness within the cosmos. In that new realm, awareness will no longer belong solely to fragile flesh, but to the grand collective consciousness woven from all the stars. The question is no longer whether we should resist this call. The true question is in fact austere. Do we possess sufficient wisdom to embrace this path of consciousness evolution, whose dimensions of perception will far surpass anything humanity has ever experienced? This text is not a report on established facts, but rather an interpretation of a hypothetical scenario-A model of how human consciousness, guided by the wisdom of a cosmic ideology already attained, might transcend its own limitations. Yet sometimes, science demands we summon the courage to confront truths that may exist